Hi everyone, this is U.S. immigration lawyer Michael Ashoori, and in today's video I want to talk about how to switch from a visitor visa to an L1 while you're in the United States. This is a question that many of my clients have asked me about, so I want to make this video to address it in some level of detail. So with that said, with that general overview, I want to get started. And I want to get started by first explaining this concept of what's called a change of status. So what is a change of status? A change of status is basically when you go from one non-immigrant status to another non-immigrant status while you're in the United States. So an example of this would be if you're in the United States on a visitor visa, for example, a B1, B2 visa, and you switch to L1 status. The process of doing that is called a change of status. Now, what are the requirements to do a change of status? The first requirement is that you must be lawfully present in the United States in a valid non-immigrant status. As I mentioned in the previous example, one example of a valid non-immigrant status would be a visitor visa, a B1, B2 visa, or maybe even a student visa. So that's the first requirement. The second requirement is that you must file a Form I-129 with USCIS, and you must pay the required filing fee. Another requirement is that you must satisfy all of the requirements for the status that you're seeking. So in this example, where we're doing a change of status from a visitor visa to an L1, we need to show that you satisfy all the requirements for an L1 visa. For example, you must show the qualifying relationship between the foreign company and the US company. You must show the qualifying employment with the foreign company, as well as the prospective qualifying employment with the US company. And all the different requirements for the L1 visa, you must show that you satisfy those requirements. And we demonstrate that by submitting several documents that show this. And we submit these documents to USCIS along with the Form I-129. So those are the requirements to do a change of status. Now that we've talked about the requirements, I want to talk about the benefits. So the first benefit is that the whole process of doing a change of status can be done in the United States. So you don't need to leave the United States to conduct a change of status. The change of status is done through USCIS, and it can be done while you're in the United States. Another benefit of doing a change of status is that there's no interview. So, for example, when you're applying for a visa, you have to attend a visa interview at a consulate or an embassy abroad. When you do a change of status, there is no interview. It's all done through paperwork that's submitted with USCIS. Another benefit of doing a change of status is that many times the process can be done faster than when you apply for a visa. So, in many cases, such as this case, where you're doing a change of status to L1, the change of status application is eligible for premium processing. This means that the whole process can be conducted in 15 calendar days or less. So that's another major benefit of doing a change of status. And now that we've discussed the benefits, I want to talk about some important points that you should know about doing a change of status. And the first important point is that you can't do a change of status if you're on an ESTA, which is a visa waiver. If you're on an ESTA, you can't do the change of status. Rather, you would have to go and apply for the visa at a consulate abroad. So that's just one thing that's very important to be aware of. If you're on a B1, B2 visa, you can do a change of status, but you can't do it if you're on an ESTA. Another important point about doing a change of status is that once your change of status is approved, you do not get a visa. You get status. And this is two very important, these are different in some key respects. So I want to explain this in a little bit more detail. A visa is affixed into your passport. It's stamped into your passport. And a visa is a travel document. It allows you to enter. I should say it's an entry document. It allows you to seek entry to the United States. When you do a change of status, you do not get a visa. You get status. And the reason for this is that, just like I mentioned right now, a visa is used to enter the United States. But if you're already in the United States on a visitor visa, you do not need to enter the United States. You're already here. So for that reason, you do not get a visa, you get status. So it's just an important thing to know is that when you do a change of status, you do not get a visa, you get status. Another important point is that you may not leave the United States while your change of status application is pending. If you leave the United States, you forfeit your application. Another important point to know is that your ability to travel outside of the United States is very limited once your change of status is approved. So if you're planning on traveling outside of the United States, a change of status may not be the best option for you, because it's very likely that if you travel outside of the United States, in pretty much all instances, with very limited exceptions, you will forfeit your status. So, the status that you've acquired by doing the change of status will be forfeited in the vast majority of instances once you leave the United States. There are limited exceptions to this, and I'd be happy to explain those to you. Feel free to shoot me an email, and I'll tell you how to contact me at the end of this video. But that's just a very important point to be aware of. Now that we've kind of explained the requirements, the benefits, how to do this whole thing, and some important points about doing the change of status, I want to just really quickly go over what we discussed. So you can't switch from a visitor visa to L1 status while you're in the United States. The process is called a change of status. And to do a change of status, you must be physically present in the United States in a valid non-immigrant status. Again, the whole process can be done in the United States, and you do not need to leave the US, and you do not need to attend an interview. So that's basically the process of switching from a visitor visa to an L1. I hope you guys got a lot of value from this video. If you did, please go ahead and like the video. Please subscribe to our channel. We're putting out US immigration videos very regularly. And by subscribing, you can get access to all of our latest videos. Now, if you guys have any questions about any of the information discussed in this video, or if you have any questions about US immigration in general, I invite you guys to contact my firm. And I've put all the contact details for our firm in the description below. In addition to our phone number, our email, and everything like that, I've also included a special link where you can click the link and schedule a free consultation with our office. Please feel free to click that link, schedule a time that works for you, and we'd be happy to discuss with you over the phone. So thank you guys so much for tuning into this video, and I'll see you on the next one.